All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to open this meeting of the Polk County Board of Commissioners for Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. All commissioners are present. Announcements are on the agendas. That's your copies are on the table in the back. And the first item today is for comments for items that are not on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the board? Well, please step forward, sir. Please give your name, rank. Yes, you may. Please bring a friend.
We're going to be super quick, but if you've been around the last 6 years, you know that May has been declared Cupcake Month here in Polk County. It kind of started out as something silly that we did to thank just the board, and we started bringing cupcakes to you guys in May. It has kind of grown into our department, Family and Community Outreach tradition on how we thank any community partner that did something great for kids and families or partnered with us in the last year. But you guys are still the special ones. You will get cupcakes every week in May. Other departments or organizations just get a one-time shot of cupcakes. They don't get them all the time. But it's our chance to say thank you to the board and leadership in the county. We super appreciate all of the support that you guys provide us. Too many ways to list in just the minute that we have. So this is your first round of cupcakes. And I cannot take credit for anything related to baking these cupcakes, but Stephanie does bake all of them herself.
So this year, I think we're delivering to about 40 different agencies that have helped us throughout the year. So I baked 800 cupcakes this weekend.
Wow.
800.
Yes.
In your kitchen? Do you have a commercial
My
kitchen at home?
Yeah.
Well, it's becoming commercial.
Yeah. It does not need to be inspected. It's okay.
Not for retail purposes.
Please tell Austin not to be listening right now.
I'd like a full investigation, Austin.
So we're going to get out of here. You guys got a full agenda. We'll leave these with the board chair. Take as many as the chair wants, but thank you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie.
What kind are these?
Red velvet.
And these aren't just cupcakes. These are kind of divine.
Yeah, they're filled with Nutella.
Oh, there we go. I hate cupcakes, but you just won me over.
Supporting Oregon hazelnuts.
Perfect.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Next up is approval of the agenda.
Also move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass unanimously. Approval of consent calendar.
Oh, so move to approve.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Approval of minutes from April 17th, 2024 and April 24th, 2024.
Also move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed unanimously. Next up is a public hearing for Plan Amendment PA 23-01 and Zone Change 23-01. Presenting is staff. Welcome.
Newton, Associate Planner for Community Development Department. On May 26, 2023, the applicants submitted planning applications PA 2301 and ZC 2301, which are applications to amend the Polk County Comprehensive Plan designation from agriculture to farm forest and to change the zone from exclusive farm use to farm forest overlay. Subject property is approximately 22 acres in size and it's located in West Salem near Gibson Road and Fresh College Road. Near West Salem, excuse me. On February 20th, 2024, the Polk County Hearings Officer held a hearing on this matter and recommended the Board of Commissioners approve this application. The hearings officer's recommendation is included as Exhibit A in the April 23rd memo that was sent to the board. In that document, it includes the applicable criteria, the hearings officer's findings, and staff findings regarding the applications. Notice of this hearing and the February 20th hearing were noticed in accordance with Polk County Zoning Ordinance Chapter 111. Based on the evidence in the record, staff recommends that the board approves applications PA 2301 and ZC 2301. as recommended by the Polk County Hearings Officer.
Okay. All right, so this is, did I open the public hearing? This is a public hearing. And we are therefore open. So first up is applicants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a little script you have to read first.
I can take care of that for you.
Thank
Commissioner,
you.
if you would like. All testimony and evidence must be directed toward the applicable factual and legal criteria as identified in the record and or during this hearing. Do not repeat previous testimony. Simply note for the record that you're in agreement with prior testimony. Your time to present is limited. Failure to raise an issue of this hearing in person or by letter or failure to provide adequate specificity to afford the board an opportunity to respond to the issue may preclude later appeal to LUBA on that issue.
Thank you. Am I out of order with the applicant and the rebuttal testimony?
What's that?
Am I out of order with regard to the applicant first?
Prior to hearing any testimony,
I don't have my script, so I don't.
I'm working with.
Thank you.
I would pull the board for any ex parte contact.
I have done.
None.
Thank you.
And then the individuals in favor of the application are the first up for the hearing.
And would that be you?
That would be us.
Okay.
We didn't bring cupcakes though.
That's fine. It's probably better that way.
Yep. My name is Margaret Ganderville. I'm the attorney for the applicant in this application. We are primarily here to just answer any questions that the board might have in this matter. We are in full agreement with the applicant or with the recommendation from the hearings officer and with the staff report below. We believe that this is a change that is consistent with the historic use and the development pattern in this area. So mostly we're just here to answer any questions you might have regarding the property or the historic uses.
Okay.
Right. Apparently we have done at
Great.
this point. All right. So now I'll open it up for opportunity from anyone who is opposed. All right, I don't see anybody. I don't hear any opposition. So I guess I will put this in the hands of the board. What's that?
Anyone in favor?
You're speaking for me. Thank you. Anyone else in favor? Okay. So back to where I was, in the hands of the board. Questions, other concerns,
No questions.
process?
Appreciate the thoroughness of the staff report and the application. This is a fairly clear case in my view, and I'm in support of the public hearings officer's recommendation.
I concur 100%.
Was that a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve PA 2301 and the zoning change 2301 as recommended by the public hearings officer.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Yep. Thank you. Script necessary. Thank you. We're gonna close this hearing. It's a public hearing. Put it back in the hands of the board. Thank you.
I'll restate my motion as previously stated.
And I'll
Or
second.
Consider it restated.
Thank you. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes unanimously. Did I meet all the criteria and requirements? Thank you.
Thank you.
With no script, that was.
Yeah. Trying to do it from memory.
Thank you both for being here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Older Americans Month and proclamation number 24-02. So this was a request that we got from Northwest Senior and Disability Services. And we have Betty Sledge with us here today. Please come forward as a representative for Northwest Seniors and Disability Services Senior Advisory Council. And she said she'd love to read, but preferred that I would do it. I almost hooked you there. But Betty, please give us an update on what this is about and where we are.
Well, I gotta up my game because I don't have cupcakes. But May is Older Americans Month. It's been proclaimed such since the sixties, with President Kennedy starting it out. The baby boomers are still coming at 10,000 a day. And in 2034, there'll be more people over 65 years old than there are under 18 years old in the United States for the first time in history. So 9 years ago, Polk County was a recipient of monies coming in from the state through the Older Adult Behavioral Health Initiative. And it funds the position I hold currently. And in 9 years, it's still just the older adult specialist. The program there is no program. It's just me for right now. I've held it 7 years. We have about 24% of the county population that's over 60 years old. So that's what we're dealing with. Last year, about 8 months ago, the Surgeon General Vivek Murthy put out this report. It's 81 pages. It's actually excellent. It's entitled Our Epidemic of Loneliness and Isolation, a National Response. And he was looking at all citizens from children on up, what loneliness, isolation, leading to depression and other things is doing to the country. And it's been directly linked of how much it harms individuals and communities. It's linked to lots of health issues and higher costs, which is one of the things that he's looking at, of course, as a nation. In older adults, it affects dementia, cardiovascular disease, depression, anxiety, obesity, blood pressure, premature death. So especially if you're an older adult, if you're experiencing loneliness and isolation, the health risks are as if you smoked 15 cigarettes a day. So it's real, it's traceable, it's repeatable. And so he's calling in this report at all systems, federal, state, and local, to address this problem of disconnection, social isolation, lack of relationships. And he does report in here that it goes way back before the pandemic. So it's not just a pandemic effect. And so I'm always here, striving to put the importance of Polk County responding, and specifically Polk County Behavioral Health, in putting some time, money, and vision into older adult programming. And I'm not really sure exactly what's happening. I was told last week that my position, they're not going to contract it out anymore. They're going to bring it back into the county. And I said, okay, what does that mean for what I'm doing? And they said they didn't know, but I would only be doing direct service. So I asked, does that mean therapy? I mean, what does that mean? And they didn't have an answer at the time. And I said, who's going to do all the rest of the work that I do? And they said they didn't have anybody at that time. So that's concerning to me, but I can only just deal with today. So I just want to put that out there and see, in 9 years, we've been at this, as a county. And the problem, as I say, older adults, they just keep coming. We're not going to reach that height of the baby boomers for about 10 more years, exactly 10 years. And then it'll be at its height. And I just want us prepared. Hopefully, I don't think so, but I might still be living 10 years from now. And I want a nice preparation. And everybody in the room, no matter how old they are, we're all on this train to old age. It doesn't matter. And at this point, I know this is like way overstating, but some of you know how dramatic I can be. It's like we're on a train to Auschwitz, and we have an opportunity to make it a better place when we get there. And I just want to underscore that too. And my voice isn't strong enough. It's not powerful enough. It's not being listened to. But since last year, we've made great strides in trying the social connection. I do a ton of work for the senior centers, all three of them. We have Monmouth and Dallas, and the tribal elder care. And so I'm working with them very hard. I'm on a ton of committees, lots of boards. I'm trying to get this work out there and get it noticed so that we can get it on the agenda. You know, when I did kids 30 years ago, 35 years ago, children were on nobody's agenda. They just weren't. It wasn't a population that existed. We just ignored it for the most part. And when there was a ton of work done in the 80s on setting up children's programs, and Polk County was instrumental in partnering with ESD and the school systems to stand up a children's program. And look what it's come of. Children are at the top of everybody's agenda. And we need to do that same type of work for older adults. But I just have not been very successful at putting that on the top of folks' agenda. It's always later. And for me, at least, I'm gonna be 71 in August. Later is getting shorter and shorter all the time. So, but we have had some success. And then hopefully if the job doesn't change too much, that can continue and I can keep pushing the envelope. But that's where we are. And this is a wonderful report. I mean, it's easily readable if anybody ever wants to read it. So there's some pie in the sky kind of stuff in here. You're like, yeah, that's never going to happen. But he does break it down as to what the feds can do, what a state can do, what the local government can do, what community organizations can do, what a family can do, and what an individual can do. It's really comprehensive. So that's my spiel.
Right, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
Betty, do you work with family community outreach? As you come across seniors that are struggling, I know so many of them have such limited funds on
Yes.
Social Security. And a lot of them are reaching out for help. Some don't know where to reach out to help.
Mhm.
So is that kind of where you come in?
I do some work with them, not as much as I could. I do most of my work is done with Northwest Seniors. I'm on their advisory board. I'm on their SAC and DSAC and the steering committee and the budget committee. I'm on a lot of their things. I do a tremendous amount of work with the senior centers because the state was concerned that too much of my time and reporting was spent with mental health patients and OHP patients. And that's how old I am. I'm calling them patients, they're clients now. But they wanted to remind me specifically that it's an initiative for every single citizen. And that's, the retired guy with 5 401ks and everybody. How are you going to reach the non-OHP, mental health client? And that's when I really dove into the senior centers. And then through there, I'm doing some work with some of the churches and bringing in age things and how to respond to mental health crises and all of that sort of work, because that's where they hang out, churches and senior centers. Yes, but Brent's program, he's just got a lot of vision in a lot of different areas, and he doesn't mind putting in the boot work to make things happen, And I really would love to partner with him, but I don't always have, yeah. I'd like to do more than I can sometimes.
One deal. And I'm sure you're aware that Commissioner Polk helped connect Northwest Senior and Disability Services to the new FCO Resource Center in Monmouth. So they have physical presence there. So hopefully that'll help broaden the scope of what they're able to achieve in Polk County.
Yeah. So every month, every quarter, I have to give a report to the state as to what I've done. Part of that report is how many complex cases you do. So the last quarter, I was involved in 56 complex cases. So I'm seeing a lot of people and trying to untie a lot of knots. I'm fairly well known. People will call me and I heard your name from blah, blah, blah. So that's a lot of people. So it's not that Polk County isn't, or behavioral health isn't doing anything, but it could be so much more, And I don't know where to go from that, because I've been, like I said, 7 years, and I keep knocking at the door, but not answered yet, but I'm persistent.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, board. So we first need to dispose of, do we want to declare this proclamation?
I think so, yes.
I agree.
Yes, okay. So if you'll allow me, before the Board of Commissioners for Polk County, Oregon, in the matter of designating the month of May 2024 Older Americans Month, proclamation number 24-02. Whereas last year, the Administration for Community Living designed the 2023 Older American Month theme, Aging Unbound, as an opportunity to explore diverse aging experiences and discuss how communities can combat stereotypes. Whereas Polk County recognizes the need to create a community that provides the services and supports older adults need to thrive and live independently for as long as possible. Whereas Polk County can work to build an even better community for older adults by planning programs that encourage independence, promoting community and civic engagement opportunities, increasing access to services that support aging in place, ensuring activities are responsive to individual needs and preferences. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Polk County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 2024 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to take time during this month to recognize older adults and the people who serve them as essential and valuable members of our community. And I will distribute this to be signed. And I think that concludes our regular agenda. And do we have a need for executive session?
Yes, sir. The board will meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192-660 sub 2D to conduct deliberations from persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations, and sub H to consult with counsel concerning the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed.